Good morning. Welcome to Randy's Corner, and I'm your host, Randy Clark. I got a real special guest with me this morning. This is Miss Ashley Jones. She is Associate Realtor at Front Porch Realty. We're going to talk some real estate today.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for coming in, and good morning.
Morning.
All right. Now, tell us a little something about Ashley.
I am an associate broker at Front Porch Realty. I've been licensed for about 8 years. I'm married with 2 kids, 13 and 8.
Names?
Lakin and Rain.
Okay.
Both girls give me a run for my money most days. My poor husband, being in a house full of women. I work at Fayetteville School a little bit here and there and help coach softball down there. And
Lady Wolves.
That's right, Lady Wolves all the way.
Right.
Just try to stay busy.
Okay.
That's what we do.
So let's talk a little real estate.
All right.
Okay. What advice would you give someone wanting to sell or buy a home?
Well, the first step is just a consultation.
Okay.
Whether they're nervous or not, it doesn't matter. It may be that they're like, oh, well, I don't want to take the hit on my credit to go get the pre-approval. You could do a soft pull. It's always good to get that starting point if they're, buying for the first time. If they're selling for the first time, it's as simple as, calling your favorite agent. I hope that's me, by the way.
Right.
But just calling and saying, hey, what can I do to make the house more appealing? Or, what do you think I could, make? And, the realtor will put together what's called a CMA most of the time and kind of show you some options.
Okay. To kind of follow up with that question, you talk about the credit score for a minute. I know that's really important, right?
Yes.
So what advice would you give a first-time home buyer?
Well, you need to have some sort of revolving credit. Now, I'm not saying go take out 500 credit cards. Get you 2, keep them under 30% of the ratio. Talk to your lenders, People Mortgage, we use them a lot. And we do a lot of loans where there's 100% financing options. Back in, actually at the beginning of last year, for the year of 2023, I was named Realtor of the Year for Alabama Housing Foundation.
Oh, really?
And they do,
Okay.
It was really cool. It's top in the state of Alabama, and that's staying a lot. But
It is.
they do bond loans, so you have all these options for first-time home buyers or, buying them for the second, third time, where you don't have to put down, that 5, 10, 3.5%. You could put down nothing.
Right.
So, the first step is always to build your credit, yes. But if you're unsure how to do that, you can just talk to a lender and they can do, like I said, a soft pull, figure out where you're at so that you can figure out how to kind of build up from there.
Okay.
And we can make low credit scores work.
Right.
Just because you think your credit is low doesn't mean that it's as low as you think it is,
Right.
So that's the general consensus I see a
Okay.
lot.
What are the pros and cons on buying or waiting on rates to drop? I know
Yes.
people freak out over the rates.
Oh,
right?
yes. Well, and I understand it to an extent, but it's like I tell, clients that if you've been renting for years, you've paid somebody else's mortgage.
Right.
It's better to go ahead and if you can qualify, buy the house, because at least then you're building equity. Because if you don't like the rate now, you don't have to have that same rate. There's options for buy downs at the closing table. You stay somewhere 6 months, you can refinance. So you're not necessarily locked into that rate as much as the saying is, I know it's overused sometimes, but you marry the house and you date the rate.
Right.
So, don't let the rate scare you out of buying a house ever, because it's better to own 100% of something than pay somebody else's mortgage.
Exactly. I like that statement. Okay. Now, what can a person do to make a home sell easier and more profitable?
So the biggest thing is to be realistic about the way that you're, presenting. I tell a lot of my clients, if we're going, we're going to list, take down the things that make it super personal to you so that someone else can see themselves in the space. Obviously, I'm not saying bare bone it, but maybe take down the wall collage of family pictures and make it a little more, standards so that if a family that doesn't have as many kids walks into that house, they can walk in and see themselves there, you know, even though they may not have a bunch of kids. Or, you know, same things with like animals, you know, make sure that your nose may be blind to it. I know that I have dogs, you know, it is what it is, but making sure that you take that into account, you know, make it smell nice, make it feel good, because a lot of the times people walk into a house and they immediately get like this feeling. And I do too, even with my clients. I usually can tell if it's their house just because it's just a gut feeling.
You
know,
want to make it homey? Is that,
right, yeah. You want to make it homey without making it just your home.
Right.
You want to make it welcoming and open to where they could imagine it being their home too.
I got you.
So.
Okay, so this right here is not in my notes, but could you speak for a minute on the housing market, not just in Sylacauga, but the surrounding areas? What's it like right now?
We are seeing a shift. You know, election years are rough for our profession just because everybody, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, you're waiting to see what the other person's going to do. We're seeing more inventory come up for more affordable pricing. Back in COVID, I don't know if you remember it, but it was just, you were bidding 20, 30 grand over list price. You had to go see it that day. I mean, if you weren't Johnny on the spot, you're missing it.
Right.
Now we're seeing that kind of slow down and even out, and now instead of it being just the seller's market predominantly, you're looking at it really kind of benefiting both parties, because sellers are motivated, but so are the buyers. But I mean, I'm seeing that not just here, but you know, in the houses in Chelsea and Talladega and Alpine, you know, kind of around everywhere that we work.
Right. So, you're not just a realtor for Sylacauga and surrounding areas. It goes wider than that, right?
Right. We can do anything in the entire state.
Okay.
Now, we all have our little niches, you know, obviously, but yeah, we can go beyond just this area.
Okay.
This is just where most of our business is.
Right. Okay. Now, when buying a home, should you get your own electricians and plumbers to check for problems within the home that you might not know to look for, or should you go through your realtor and get electricians and plumbers? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So we do, you know, obviously when I put in an offer for my clients, we do a home inspection period. And a lot of the times, you know, we let the home inspector's coming out and they're going roof to foundation. They're not just, you know, checking for cracks in the wall. You know, they're checking mostly everything. And when they give us that report back, if something were to pop up saying there was a plumbing issue that looked, you know, something that they're not familiar with, or they may say like, hey, you need to get with a licensed plumber or licensed electrician, in which case, you know, we usually ask the clients, hey, do you have somebody you prefer? If you don't, I have a Rolodex that I can call on and we can figure out something. But most of the time, if they have somebody they're comfortable with, we kind of, because ultimately, I never take lightly that somebody's trusting me to help them with the biggest purchase of their lives. Whether
Right.
it's this first, second, third time, I want them to be comfortable. And if they say, you know, no, I have no idea what to do, well, that's okay. That's what you got me for.
Right.
You know, and if the person you call is somebody that you trust, then I'm gonna, you know, kind of follow up with them and make sure that we're all on the same page.
Okay.
So it kind of depends.
I got you. We got a couple more minutes. Any words you'd like to speak to the viewers, and just let them know that you're there to help, and
Yes.
give you a call.
So I'm right down here at Front Porch Realty. It's Becky is the owner. I'm the associate broker. We have a great team of realtors, and we would love to help you. We try to pride ourselves in going above and beyond just considering you a number or a transaction. We want to make it personal. That's kind of our Front Porch mission is. We want it to be personal. We want it to be.
It is personal.
Yes, we want it to be like where, just like I told Chris earlier, I'm the family realtor. I don't want just you. I want your kids and your nieces and your nephews. I want everybody to call me or call somebody from our office.
Right.
So y'all be sure to call me, find me on Facebook. And I hope that everybody's enjoying this gloomy day outside.
I know. Ashley, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Very interesting. So, Ashley Jones, associate broker at Front Porch Realty. Go see her for all your real estate needs.
Yes, thank y'all.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.